Hey Tim, how are you?
I'm well. What do you? My headphones are really. I'm getting
I
really.
like them.
Yeah, I'm getting used to it. I feel like I'm in control. But the big question I have right now is
Yep.
where's your little helper, Mia?
Oh, I know. Isn't she gorgeous?
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, she said to me, Auntie Lee, can we do another Facebook Live? But this time, can I do the talking?
Well, you won't need
Sure.
a DNA test there, will you?
No, absolutely right. Absolutely right. So we heard a lovely story about Angus the dog this week,
Oh, now
Tim.
wasn't that lovely?
It
I
was.
go a little bit misty-eyed, I'd have to say. So Angus the dog is owned by a lady who has a has a property. It's a strata property in Darlinghurst,
Yeah. In
and
the Horizon, which is a very high profile,
yeah. Now
expensive building.
she wanted to have Angus stay with her,
Yeah.
and the strata were of the view that they shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
So it ended up in the Supreme Court, who said it was unconscionable and a series of other unwords, and
Yeah.
Angus gets to stay. So it was a
Massive repercussions though for strata buildings
yeah.
that are not allowing pets though, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. Putting all the jokes aside,
Yeah.
it is a very interesting decision, which is going to have obviously ramifications in the strata area. But
Yeah.
for me, there's still two issues. Firstly, I don't think that decision has any impact on what a landlord can or can't do with their property at this stage.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Okay.
so at
Yeah.
and I underline at this stage.
Yeah.
So that decision isn't binding on that situation. And
Okay.
the other thing where I think that the court has skipped over the top of is what's a pet. Now I've always had, Angus is a tiny little dog,
Oh,
but
we're going down the horse road again, aren't we?
well, yes, but I think that is yet to be determined. So
Yeah. Sure.
and it's not easy, that one.
No, it's a challenge, but it's going to be yeah, it's interesting to see where that all lands.
I see people
Yeah.
walking down the street with Great Danes, and I think there is a person who really wanted a pony, and they wouldn't let him
Yeah.
have it.
Totally. Now there was a bit that came out of the federal budget. We've
Yes, there
got
was.
first home loan deposit schemes being extended by another 10,000 people, but it's only for brand new construction, and that is on purpose, right?
Yeah, and that makes no sense to me. There's a whole list of reasons why it doesn't make sense. Firstly, most first home people, 80% or better, buy existing properties,
Yeah,
and the idea of driving demand into new properties with the view that that's going to solve a supply problem is crazy. The supply problem is planning and tax and all the rest of
sure.
it. It takes so much effort to get a property up, and that's where the real problems exist, not in demand but in supply.
Yeah,
So anyway,
yeah. Oh well,
they never listen to me. That's their biggest problem.
I understand why. Um, so we also had in the budget there was a couple of announcements in relation to encouraging employment for people under the age of 35. So there's some
Yeah.
employment incentives. Yeah.
Yes, there is. So you can get, I think it's $100 if somewhere between, is it 18 and 30?
No,
I think it
I
is.
think it's $200 up until 30 and
Oh,
$100
that's right. It
between
goes the
30
other
and
way.
35.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. It does. It
Yeah.
flips over the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a obviously an incentive. It's a weekly payment that you can
Yep.
get to put somebody on. So it's probably not going to be definitive, as in it won't push you over the line to do it. But it's, if you are putting somebody on, it's certainly a lot of help, and
Yeah, it is.
shouldn't be should obviously come into consideration.
Yeah, totally, totally. Now, there's also been some marketing that's gone out and about in the real estate industry, purporting to have that there was potentially a $28,000 savings for traineeships. So we would caution people to be a little bit careful about that, because we have not had confirmation that real estate is on the skills list that the government is supporting that training for, right?
Yeah, Michael, we were fortunate enough to speak to the housing minister
Yeah,
earlier this week, Michael
Minister
Sukkar,
Sukkar. Yeah,
and yeah, and who's as I said, the housing minister,
yep,
and we asked him that very question,
yep,
and I got the distinct impression from him. We're yet to get it clarified, but the distinct impression that it was all about apprenticeships for building and these
yep,
sorts of things. But we
yeah,
yet to get that clarified. But I think the reality of it is, if the minister doesn't know about it, then we should be a bit careful in accepting um,
yeah,
marketing from other people. But we'll get some clarity around that. That's
yeah.
not to say that traineeships aren't available. They are, and they have been for some time, and
Yep.
they are really worthwhile having a look at.
Yeah, just be clear on what you will actually get delivered, because we don't believe that real estate is on the skills list for the free traineeships. But as you said, we will confirm that the minister was going to come back to us hopefully later this week on that. Okay, this week we have our favourite economist on Friday from
Yeah.
Macquarie Bank, Martin Lakos. And when you and I had that session with Martin, we both afterwards said we learned more in that half-hour meeting than we did in our entire high school economics. So it's a really interesting session around the market, the future of the economy, why the real estate market is as resilient as it has been around the country, literally. So yeah, I'm looking forward to listening to Martin again.
Yeah, look, as you know, we always say you've got to listen to us on Fridays, and I think that I'd stand by that comment because we are very discerning about the people that we get on. But
Sure.
this Friday, if you're in real estate, if that's your business, you need to be listening to this
Yep.
so that you could actually get some insight into the
Yeah.
future.
And it's also not just real estate. I've actually put it out to a few people that are giving me a hard time on social media saying, oh, the market's not doing as well as you say it is. And I've said, if you want to come and listen to Martin and be able to ask questions as to why the market's responding the way that it is, then please be my guest. I'll send you a link.
Yeah, good on you.
So yeah, because I think anybody who's got any interest in the property market or the economy in general and what the short-term future holds, they absolutely should be. They should tune in.
No, it will be it'll be a very good presentation.
Yep.
I'm going to have my Panadols ready though after he's finished with
No,
me.
I know, totally. Now, we've heard from Blacktown Council again. They're still getting a lot of complaints about the size and location of real estate signage.
Yeah, that's true. So we will be putting out today as in our EDM that'll follow this
Yep.
some links to that area. But it's a good time to remind everybody throughout the state that there are planning controls in relation to signage.
Yep.
Unfortunately, they are not uniform,
No.
and they are hard to find
Yeah.
in council, and quite often even council has trouble finding them. When you
Yep.
go and ask them, you've actually got to go to the right department. So
Yep.
not easy, but every now and again they have a blitz on this thing. And the last thing we want to see happen is that you have to get a DR to put a sign up.
No, that's right.
And that's always been the stick that they've held over our heads when they wanted to do that. So
Yeah.
so look, we will send it out for Blacktown. We've got the postcodes there.
Yep.
We will do as the council has asked. But for everybody else out there, just a reminder: find out what you can and can't do, because every now and again they have a blitz, and it's not pretty.
Yeah, absolutely. We've done a bit more work towards building our incredible virtual event for the Awards for Excellence on October 30. So if you haven't booked into that yet, you don't want to miss it, I promise you. It's going to be a big one, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
And just one final thing from me. I know that everybody's getting a little bit complacent around the COVID issues, but I was talking to my friend Leah, who is the president of the REINSW down in Melbourne today, and they are still in lockdown. They are at least another month away from being able to work out of their offices. They can do private inspections for residential. They can't do anything for commercial. So I would just, encourage everybody to be grateful about how lucky we are in New South Wales to have the freedoms that we have and to be mindful of being COVID safe.
Yeah. It really does have an economic value. That absolutely. You
Absolutely.
look at as you see, and I see every Sunday morning the auctions that come through,
Yep.
and and that tells the story.
Yeah.
We've got more auctions each Saturday than what we did 12 months ago, which
Yeah.
is itself a story.
Yeah.
But when you have a look at the auctions that, by comparison, in Victoria, Melbourne, this week as compared to the previous one, it's a terrible story.
Yeah, it really is. Absolutely. It's
And our
heartbreaking.
colleagues down there would be doing it so hard.
Very hard. Yeah, very hard. All right. Anything else from you?
I do a couple of things.
Okay.
Authorised, the great word
Oh.
authorised. So as you know, we were able to get some direction from Fair
We
Trading
were.
about that the licensee in charge of the trust account can authorise.
Yeah.
And whilst we've got that and we've got it in writing from Fair Trading,
Yeah.
what I have said to them that they should do, and I've requested they do it, is to make a public statement about it and put it out in their on their site, which I think
their
is called
Property
Matters area.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that they will do that, and we've made another request for them to do that
Yeah,
today.
I saw that. Yeah. Absolutely.
And finally, in relation to Class 2 licenses to Class 1 license.
Yeah.
Now, I've been a bit like a dog with a bone on this
You
one.
have.
People, we were told that if you have a Class 2 and you apply for a Class 1, you're entitled to a refund or a credit and all that sort of stuff. And we all agreed it. They agreed it. We agreed it. And everyone was happy. Only problem was they don't know how to give us the credit or a refund.
Yeah.
So we are still on that case, and given that we don't know how to give up, we will eventually get that sorted.
You will wear them down. I have absolutely no doubt about that.
But there is money, and we'll track it down for them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think that's it from me.
That's it. Okay. Beautiful. Well, you enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and I will look forward to speaking to you again very soon.
If not before, on Friday.
Absolutely. See ya.
Thank you.